Hello, and welcome to our second try at doing the Gaming Face Punch Gaming Roundup. And we have a special guest this week. His name's Keith. Hello, Keith. How you doing?
Cheers, mate.
Hey, Keith.
Hi, buddy.
We've got Gapstar with us this week because Nigel's chosen to have the day off to do some stuff, even though everything opens up tomorrow. And unlike me, he's not willing to wait a week. So we've got Babster, who's been kind enough to step in. And we've got Keith from his 2K droning thing. I was expecting a stream on Saturday. You let me down, mate.
Sorry, buddy.
I was going to pop in and just cause havoc like I did last time. Right. So we've got some news for you this week. And I think the first one we're going to look over it is the Stargate one. I'm just going to play the trailer while we chat, just so you got something to look at rather than my beautiful face. So this week we got a reveal that a new Stargate game's coming, and it's supposed to be a third-person shooter. And it's having what's it called? Arceus Interactive. Is publishing the game. Oh, fucking hell, I've lost track of this one. Anyway, the long and short of it is Stargate game's coming out. Stargate would have been a great IP to do a kind of Mass Effect style game, because you could have gone to all these worlds and dealt with all these problems, had tons of different stories and bits alike, and have those things kind of run. But we never really got anything like that. There was the Morpega that came out that didn't quite happen. And then we've got other stuff. So it's, how can I put it? It's something I want, but I don't want at the same time too. I want a Stargate game, but I'm worried that it's going to be, how can I put it politely, crap. Go for it, Keith. You're about to say something there.
Well, it's interesting that this has come about after Stargate's been nothing really other than, I mean, I'm kind of sort of going into the TV thing, but we haven't heard anything out of Stargate really. We had Gate World, which launched, and then they put all the episodes on there, made you pay for them, and people didn't really take them up on it. They had an online web series, and people didn't really take them up on it. So it's kind of interesting right now that they're bringing out a video game, because I heard some rumblings this week that there was going to be some Stargate news. I was expecting some kind of movie announcement or something like that, but okay, we're getting a game.
We're getting a game. They've been talking about putting the TV series back together too. They've got other things with characters coming back and this, that, and the other. And they've talked to Amanda Tappin, who would be a great striker, because all she has to do is just tap it in. That's a dad joke. Right. But a game. It's called Timekeepers. It's supposed to happen between series 7 and 8, I think, if I got it right. It's weird because I've got one story, and one story says it was a third-person shooter, and I've got another one that says that it's a real-time strategy game.
Okay.
I've got no bloody idea what it is now. I just read that because I pulled up an article from gateworld.net, and hang on a second. Boom. Today, UK-based publisher Slytherin has announced Stargate Timekeepers is a real-time strategy game that's currently in development. The game is officially licensed by MGM. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on with the Stargate series at the moment. I don't want it coming back, not in the current situation, because all they're going to do is carry it back and they'll ruin the bloody thing. They'll fill it full of identity politics rather than just good stories and fun, which we had before. It's set between seasons 7 and 8. Stargate will be released on the PC distributions platforms such as Steam. Working on an IP like Stargate is an honor and a testament to our continued efforts to reach a wider audience. Slytherin marketing director Marco, not saying that one, said, "We strive to capture players' imaginations by creating their own worlds and forging experiences based on the influential franchise. We look forward to bringing Stargate Timekeepers to life and creating a long-lasting legacy of the Stargate strategy game." So it's a strategy game. I got from another source, I got third-person shooter. Little annoyed, but hey, so it's a strategy game. Okay, cool. It's not what I want. I wanted just like a Gears of War kind of game with some options in, go to a different world, solve a few different problems, and Keith is derp faced on us while we're there. So I imagine he'll drop out and drop back in. Oh, okay, maybe I've derp.
I'm here.
Okay.
I mean, I never watched the series. Would a first-person shooter work with that particular?
First-person shooter, yeah, it would work. If you watch it, it's pretty action-orientated.
Oh, okay.
So a first-person shooter would work for it. It fits more than a strategy game. The only strategy game I could think that could work for would be an XCOM style strategy game. So you could do an XCOM style strategy game where you're taking turns and stuff. I think that might work for it. But apart from that, I can't see a real-time strategy game working for it. But then again, they might have some ideas and stuff that we don't know about.
I don't quite understand how a real-time strategy game is going to work around the Stargate thing, because it wasn't about going and setting up bases and stuff, was it? It was
covert action.
Expert. Yeah, it was a first-person shooter, third-person shooter style game. So it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's an odd one. You'd want something a bit more exciting in regards to it, but as I said, maybe if it was an XCOM style strategy game, it works, which is less of the kind of real-time command and conquer aspect of it, which I think would do. But yeah, I like Stargate. Stargate's all right. Stargate Atlantis is my favourite. I've met Joe Flanagan, who plays John Shepard in it, which is quite cool. My wife has met Jason Momoa, who was also in it. It was one of his first acting jobs outside Baywatch Nights. Tells you what kind of actor he is. He gets a job on Baywatch Nights. But yeah, it's. I want a decent game. I'm hoping it's going to be XCOM-ish, because that would fit more with Stargate. Because in Stargate they started off, they didn't have anything, so they would develop technology. So you go into a thingy, win a battle, retrieve a bit of technology, or do a covert action, come back, and then you'd have better guns and so forth and so on. I think that could work more than big, massive armies fighting each other. Anyway, with that one, let's go on to our next story. Guys, there's everything about the Atari Jackie with that. It's a little kind of fanfare just. Okay, so Sony have revealed the fact that they are now releasing more, controllers for the console. So they've released a Cosmic Red and a Midnight Blue one. So I'm going to pop this on here. So a big old fanfare regards to it. Now, I think the DualSense is a great controller. It is one of the best controllers, along with the previous PS4 controller. A lot of work has gone into making it, especially with the haptic feedback and stuff. And lots of people wanted a black console and a black controller rather than a white console and a white set of white controllers. But got a nice red one, a nice black one now. And I hope to God they fixed the drift on the sticks, because lots of people complaining about the drift on the sticks. In regards to the controllers, don't last as long, then don't seem as good, so forth and so on. I think it's going to be good. What do I want? I want a blue one, because I always have a red one and a blue one. That's not quite as red as I want. And Keith has popped back in.
It's a strange red, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a strange red. You'd expect it to be like the bright, vibrant red, where it's more. It's got a. I don't know what's the word for it. It's a bit purplish. It's got like a tint, like you added purple in the red when you put it together. Yeah, it's good. The other thing too is this is a weird thing, because it'll make sense. This will make sense when I bring on the next video. The the controller. It was just the controller on that advert, wasn't it? Just showed you the controllers. Here's the controllers. Here's what they look like. You know how, if you've got one, you know what it looks like. And you should be able to get hold of one. But if we look at the Xbox's one, because we can't have Sony do something without Xbox doing something too. So they showed off their controller, because it's their 20th at the moment. So they showed off their controller, and I don't want to sound rude or anything. I
different
think they
about it?
might hide the most obnoxious people to advertise this as possible. Because you look at them and it's like, oh, it looks like I'd have trouble having a conversation with you. And the controller, yeah, come on.
I was just, how different is the Series X controller compared to the Xbox One controller? Because it looks exactly the same to me.
It's exactly the same, apart from it's got a share button on it finally, and it feels cheaper.
Yeah,
that's the truth of it. It actually feels cheaper. I'll be frank with you. I'm hoping, because when I got my Xbox One, I had a controller on that, and that felt quite cheap. The one that came with the console. Then I got a replacement controller, and then that replacement controller felt quite premium in comparison.
See, I still love the 360 pad. That's what I use for the PC. Love it.
I think the 360 one's probably one of the best controllers made. It's the triggers on it, because it had some proper triggers and bits on it. So that
still
was
takes
good.
batteries.
Oh, it still takes batteries.
Mine doesn't.
Still takes batteries. Just doesn't.
Yeah.
So I didn't. My internet blipped out. I didn't see the PlayStation one. Is this just different coloured controllers?
Yeah, the different colour controllers. Hang on, let me just put the PlayStation one back on for you for a second.
So, do you think they'll sell the coloured plates for your machine as well?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I think it would be dumb not to sell you plates for it, but it doesn't mean they won't do silly things.
Isn't there lots of people 3D printing them already, though?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, is that? Right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, there's people who got black controllers and whatnot.
It kind of looks funky in red.
It does. The problem is it's not red. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's an cosmic red, they're calling it. It looks all right. It's all in good bringing out these controllers, Sony, though. But can you bring out in console so that people can buy it?
Yeah.
Sorry, Keith. I forgot.
Yeah, that is true. You'll be able to get the pads, but no console.
Oh, you can get the pads here. There is an abundance of accessories for this thing, right? Every shop's got them. Got the console, right? It's. I know that some of it is the worldwide chip shortage, but seriously, they've got to get their freaking act together. They really.
It wasn't though, was it? It wasn't. They'll just use it as an excuse.
Well, I think it came down to two problems for Sony. One was good old-fashioned distribution, and the other was the fact that the chips that they were using were failing a lot of times. So they were throwing away whole PCBs with this chip on because it failed. It's driving them wild. The amount of loss they had to endure just to get there, because they were losing RAM and all manner of bits alongside it. But AMD, that's why they were talking about putting another chip in there. They reckon there's shortages for the PS5 console is going to last into 2022 because of the chip shortage and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to be over a year old by then, and it's... How have they sold they've sold over 8 million apparently, but where? To who? I'm not entirely sure I believe it. I'm not
one.
Yes, I know, but I still don't quite believe it because they just don't exist.
They do exist. So, it's just that you live in Thailand and everyone knows.
But they don't. The UK is still out of stock. Amazon, they sell out within seconds, and I don't believe that they are selling as many as they claim they are. I just don't.
Because on Amazon, when you typed in PlayStation 5, it brings up the pad. Even if you type in console, it still brings up the pad.
Sorry, I'm going to try that
just to wind you up.
Let's just see. Let's test this. I don't know if my one will do the same here. So, PlayStation 5,
yeah.
Does it on mine as well? First thing that comes up.
I got digital and then the pad. So,
is it in stock?
Currently unavailable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go, Keith.
It's always unavailable.
If you click on that link there, what does it do? Does it take you to because originally it took you to the pad? Oh, it does actually bring the box up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is, I think that Amazon's different depending if you're signed in or not.
I mean, the fact that you see, I think it's unforgivable that the Computer Exchange is allowed to scalp to the level that they are. That is just.
Did you see Nigel's picture?
Yeah.
Right.
700 and something quid for a PlayStation 5. This is out of a high street shop. It's freaking. I mean,
no, they shouldn't be allowed.
They should be reported to trading standards. They really shouldn't. Shame on you, Computer Exchange. Absolute shame on you.
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me just share. Let me just share my screen. Where is it? Share screen. What do I want to share? There we go. Boom. Right. So, our roving reporter on the ground, Nigel. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what he saw because he saw a PS5 in there and he saw it for £780.
Hang on, 825 gig.
Yes, 825 gig.
What?
Yeah, I'm sure it's 825. I've got the box somewhere.
It is.
It's not a full terabyte. It's annoying.
It's not a full terabyte
because it needs certain space for the OS and bits so it can shunt data around.
Yeah, but they don't normally advertise it like that, do they?
No.
They'd normally say it's a 1 terabyte, but obviously you only get 825 gig after their operating system.
Yeah.
That's just it. So does it say that on the box, 825 gig?
I think it does.
Or does it say 1 terabyte? Because that is
no, I
really
think it's 825 gig, and you get less than that actually, because I think it's 825 and then the operating system. So I think it's less than that. I think it's close to 600 and something, if I remember correctly. But yeah, he saw that, and then he saw Xbox Series X.
So that's advertised as 1 terabyte, but it won't be because because of your operating system. That's weird. Okay.
But yes, our roving reporter on the ground, Nigel, found that.
What does that look like? A shredder?
Because it's got the reflection of all the DVDs and bits in the background, and Nigel calls it his refrigerator. I'll be honest with you.
Xbox shredder.
Let me just let's stop sharing that. We've lost Keith.
Oh, Keith.
I don't know what's gone on there, but we've lost Keith. I think he's got internet issues. So let's go back here. Boom. Right. Well, Keith will return eventually. Device not connected. So he's having some great technical issues on his side. It's weird. His broadband used to just play up around about this time. Well, it was when we're doing the Monkey Nut Punch one, and now it's playing up now when we're doing it earlier. Anyway, let's go back here, and we'll go to this Game Rant story. Hopefully, Keith will join us back. Sony, I don't know, I've not put any bumps in. Sony have hinted at bringing back a classic feature, PlayStation Home. PlayStation Home was surprisingly popular with the Germans, but no one else. And the idea of PlayStation Home, originally it was sold to you as you'd have a house, and the more trophies and the higher your level got, the bigger your house would be. And you'd have a trophy room in there, and you'd have the ability to meet people in there before you went and played a game. So you could then join in and go to the game together.
Yeah, I remember that. I liked it, yeah.
Yeah, it was a fantastic idea. Never fucking implemented any of the proper bits they wanted. Really annoying. Really, really annoying. It would have been fantastic if they had done it, but they didn't. So yeah, it's a weird one. So it may be coming back, and it's strange that it's coming back because I'd rather have Days Gone 2. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
because that's a better game. So yeah, it would be weird. I was going to ask Keith about it, but he's off somewhere with the technological fairies.
Because you could sit down and play like drafts and chess with people, couldn't you? If I remember,
and you could do bowling and buy silly costumes for obscene prices.
I think there was like a little cinema you could go to, and there was loads of things. It was really good. I used to like that.
It was, but I'm hoping they bring it back and they put the features that they promised us, if that makes any sense. Because there were some other things. I wanted the trophy room was the one I wanted.
Oh, okay.
Because the idea that the trophy room expanded every time you got more trophies sounded like a fantastic idea. It sounded like a real good place to go and do a bit of boasting. The PlayStation trademark was renewed by the European Union Intellectual Property Office, originally approved and published in 2009. So it was. So it's been around for a very long time. With the renewal, the renewal will sustain sustain the trademark with the EU through new expiration date of January 1st, 2028. So I'm hoping they do something. That would be good. Maybe they're doing a VR version of it. Maybe they're doing a mixed actually, so you can go in their VR and not. I don't know. I'm hoping there'll be something interesting there. I was wondering if Keith was going to get back, but clearly he hasn't got back. So we'll just have to carry on to our.
I think the VR thing. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think that's what they'll do, because you can already use VR chat within Oculus.
Yes. No. Yeah, I remember because that's where Uganda Knuckles came from. Do you remember Uganda Knuckles?
Yeah.
That was only me who remembers Uganda Knuckles. Maybe it was me and my son. But there was a guy, they would rip off bits from Nollywood films, from Nigerian-made films, and then put it over a virtual version of Knuckles, where it does like, "Do you know the way?" in African. It was, I found it funny. It was a meme that lasted all of 3 weeks, I think, back in 2017. Okay, we've lost Keith. I think we're going to say he's dead. But we'll move on to
Come back, Keith.
Come back, Keith. He's probably restarting his router and swearing.
Right, okay.
So we'll move on to our next bit. I'll be honest with you, I've been forgetting to do that in between.
I like that. I like the Atari Jaguar one you did as well. That was good.
Yeah, I've just ripped them off because I haven't got any bumps or anything, so I figured I'd use all the startup screens because I like startup screens.
Oh, they're cool.
PlayStation Play at Home giveaway continues with in-game money and items. Okay, not many people like in-game money and items, but if you get them for free, it's not so bad. So, starting May the 17th, which is tomorrow, PlayStation Home will run a second event, which will include free items from Brawlhalla, World of Tanks, World of Warships, Warframe, NBA Show 2021, NBA 2K21, Rocket League, Destruction All-Stars, and Rogue Company. From May 21st, Call of Duty Warzone will also include double XP tokens, which is nice. Giving away stuff for free is always good. You may not agree with the where they're doing their business, but having some free items and stuff is nice. And I think we should carry on with the niceness.
It's not like what Microsoft have been doing there, is it? They've got a lot of catching up to do.
Well, I think Sony have seen this as people are stuck at home and we want them to be nice to us. So when everything returns to normal, they'll think of us first when it comes to buying something. So I think it's spending their marketing budget on that.
But on the games they're advertising, most of those, I mean, some of them I don't know, but most of those, they're free games. Yes,
but these are in-game items. So you get an exclusive. It's like with you play Apex Legends, for example, you get the free PlayStation skins. Yes, you get free Xbox skins as well, and then you get like some extra bits.
It's not costing Sony anything though by doing that, is it?
I don't know, but the other things that would put the game they put what was it? They put the Horizon. Oh, what's it called? Horizon Zero Dawn out beginning of this month, I think.
Okay.
Which is part of that play at home thing, and they've done other games and stuff. And we've got Keith back. Hello, Keith.
I don't know if I'm going to disappear again. My internet is absolutely being crap. It only ever seems to do this on a Sunday at this time.
Yes, sorry, mate.
But we will see. I apologise for interrupting.
That's fine. You can interrupt, mate. You can interrupt your heart's content. It's one of these things that happens. We're just talking about them giving away some free stuff on free-to-play games, and whether is it a good thing or a bad thing, or is it a bit hollow? I think it's the other way.
I don't like free-to-play games. I have never liked free-to-play games. I don't like the pricing model. I actually think they're borderline immoral. I think they trap kids into paying for things, and I think I don't like the model at all. In fact, I now refuse to put anything that comes up free to play on my phone, purely because the only way you're going to win it is if you pay, and then they entice you to spend more and more and more money, so that the game ends up costing you more than if you just buy a one-off 50 quid fee for a game, which is how I prefer to play video games. Sorry.
I don't think you can argue with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think some are better than others. I do think some are better than others. The whole idea is not good because apparently Ubisoft released a statement saying that they're going to focus more on free-to-play games recently. I can't find this. I didn't find this. This came out after I did the show notes, that they were going to focus on free-to-play games, and everyone just freaked out because it was like, oh crap, you're not going to now focus on doing the AAA titles that you used to do, which is understandable. They went, no, we're still going to do the AAA titles, but we're going to do free-to-play games. So you'll probably get some kind of Far Cry Battle Royale. What's the other one? That's Tom Clancy's Battle Royale. What other games do they? Assassin's Creed Battle Royale. Because they're all the same fucking game, I'll be honest with you. Even if you play the mobile games on your phone, they always wind up being the same bloody game.
Well, no, you get the card games and things like that, and then you've got the building games where you can buy credits to speed things up.
All the other card games.
That's true.
They just all want the slice of pie, don't they, of Fortnite?
Yeah. They saw the money that was being made off the back end of Fortnite. And they were like, kind of, oh my god, we need money. We need all that money. Yeah.
And let's face it, Epic Games didn't even need Fortnite.
I think they did actually, because
I think they did. Even with the engine that they sell out to everybody. A lot of people use that Epic Games engine.
That Epic Game engine is being used, but I'll give you examples where EA have stopped using it. And they use a Frostbite engine. That's why Mass Effect Andromeda had so many technical issues. And I think other companies have also stopped using it. So if you're Sony, I think a toss up between three engines. One of them being the Decima engine, which I think is the best one out of the three of them. And there's some other ones. But yeah, you're right. And saying that, Sony have pushed now to have a share of that Unreal Engine because that's important for them. Because that way, people will build those games, and if it's easier to port it out to a PS5, they're going to wind up being a bit more favourable to that, so they can have it as the standard for all those games. It's frustrating. I don't want free to play games. I don't know. I like play my game, boom, and it works. That's what I want. But this kind of sucks. Bilf has got a little hint for you, Keith. Have you tried turning it off and on again? I mean.
Yeah, that's what I just did. I switched everything off because it even cut out on my phone. I don't get it. I had it on my phone for a while and it cut out on there. Who knows?
Oh well. Okay.
Technology, eh?
Yes, technology.
Yeah.
I was trying.
Do you not have a Sega one? There is one missing. Do you not have Sega?
I've got Sega somewhere. It's funny because I've got Nintendo Switch and Steam and Game Boy that I've added recently. I'll add the other ones in there. Sorry, Babs, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
It's all right.
Press the button, then it takes a couple of seconds for it to happen. It's not like I can cancel it because it will flash up regardless. Sony. This is very PlayStation orientated because they seem to be stealing the news because it's Xbox 20th birthday, so naturally they want to get in front of it with all their kind of stuff. So Sega have announced that they've got 25 new PS5 games in production, and we've got Ratchet and Clank, which is coming out soon, Horizon Dawn Forbidden West, which is not only coming out on the PS5, it will come up on the PS4 too, and I think that's probably due to the
I wonder why. PlayStation Studios have got 25 new PS5 games in production for the few people that actually have a PS5 console. So they're going to sell loads there.
But as I said, I think they'll be doing them so they're 4 and 5. The architecture is not a million miles away from each other. It's just it's the hardware bits and stuff on there. God of War Ragnarok, plus they've got a load of other new IPs for this. Okay, Keith, you being with you think it's weird? That's weird. It's all right. The thing didn't come up there. Yeah, they're working on it, and they've got some. They claim that they've got new IPs, so they're working on stuff that not necessarily a sequel to something else, and that's good because Microsoft, I think, Microsoft announced something about Fallout 4, not Fallout 4, Fallout 5. The problem is that Fallout 76, when you played it at the launch, it may be better now, but when you played it at launch, has sucked all the jam out of my fucking donut when it comes to Fallout. So they're now in direct competition with Microsoft to get all new, all exciting games out on their consoles, which is great for us as the gamers. But they've got to be good. They've got to be good, because if they're shit, then no one will buy them, and that means that they've got to be, engaging and working is the key thing there. And I think that's something that's quite important now with all these buggy messes. And I'm still waiting for Cyberpunk to be released on the PlayStation 5, because I know when it gets released on the PlayStation 5, it'll be working. So yeah, that's one thing. I hate it because PC people, they've probably got modders out there that probably fixed half these things in unofficial patches, like they've done with Fallout.
I have to admit, I'm interested in Cyberpunk, and if it does come out for the PS5, I will do my level best to get hold of one, because I am intrigued in it, but I won't play it at the moment because it just doesn't work, does it?
No, leave it alone until they fixed it, because it's a great game. It really is good.
I was expecting to hear something in May about it, like a big patch release, then people to be, oh look, it's working now, because I understand the games don't work first time out. That means they're just going to buy it at a discounted rate. And I was expecting a PS5 version of 2, which I think will probably, the PS5 version and the Xbox X and S series versions will probably, because they've got a significant amount more power in there, will mitigate half the problems that the game's having, because they've got the hardware to run it, so you can have more than 5 people in the street without the game going. So.
You see, I don't think we should have that attitude and expect it not to work, because it should. They released the game, it should work.
Well, it's one of those things where it's a case of, if it doesn't work, I don't buy it. It's like with Days Gone. Days Gone didn't work when it first came out, and I didn't touch that until they got it working. And then when they did get it working, it was brilliant. And I'm hoping it's going to be the same with Cyberpunk too. So yeah, it's an odd one. I've seen some modders do some interesting things with it. I've seen some modders do some interesting with Resident Evil. Have you seen them? Where you've got people getting attacked by feral. Oh, who's the Barney the dinosaurs? So they're down in like these catacombs and they get attacked. It's brilliant. I have to find that. It's a really good one to watch there. But yeah, I'm hoping these things will sort themselves out, and we'll get those things come through. So the next one is one of your stories, Babster. So I will just pop this up on screen and share it with you. But before then, before we do that,
which one you?
R-Type.
Yeah.
So R-Type 2 finally the bullet hell side-scrolling shoot 'em up, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
We've got this coming out. So tell us about it.
Well, you remember R-Type?
Yeah, I remember
the original shooter.
Yeah. The SNES when I was first exposed to
the Nintendo Switch version. So they had a nice little booklet and CD with it. So yeah, it was an absolutely rock hard shooter by IRM. I think this started off as a Kickstarter, which I didn't back, believe it or not, which has now been officially released. Oh, is this the trailer?
This is the trailer. The problem is it's showing at 60 frames a second, and well, it's trying to show it 60 frames a second, but the resolution's not working, so it's a bit jumpy. Yeah, I remember this because there was this one, and then there was a weird one called like Puyo Puyo Shooter Up or something, where you were like a bird.
I remember this.
You remember R-Type, don't you? The original.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah. Game like this I was exposed to was Gradius. Do you remember Gradius?
Yeah, because you got Nemesis, Salamander, Gradius.
Yeah, Gradius, and then R-Type came along
Yeah.
after. But it's one of those ones where I think Contra might put me off of playing this. Where you're having to do that bullet hell aspect, where you're trying to you literally just hold the trigger down and you dodge, and you spend your time and you got to figure the patterns out, and then you die, and you okay. And it could be fun, but for me, it was always a bit. I was not the biggest thing in it, but saying that, I might pick up my retro box thing that I've got and see if I've got R-Type on it and give that a go, and just see how I get on with playing that. And then I don't know. I haven't got Nintendo
I was going to say
Switch.
I wanted to see what it was like on the other systems because I bought the Switch version, and in handheld mode, it works quite well, but on docked mode, it is suffering with some frame issues. So I hope they patch it because it's a shame because it really is a good game.
Is that down to the size of the TV, or are you just plugging it into a standard HD TV?
I think it's just down to the game itself. I think it generally needs patching up and optimizing for the Switch. I've noticed a few games like that they've. There was a Castlevania type game that when it first came out ran terrible. They patched it up, and it runs.
I noticed that plugging it into my 4K TV, Zelda now suffer some frame drops, which it didn't do before when I was plugging it. Yeah, that's the thing. I love what the Samsung TV does because it displays the Switch logo. It doesn't do it for the PlayStation because obviously they're a direct competitor, so you won't let them lose that. But Nintendo don't give a shit. So when you plug it in, it just comes up with a splash screen saying Nintendo Switch. It's quite cool. And it does do a damn good job. Yeah, it does do a damn good job of it. I mean, it's the same TV Gareth's got. We both got pretty much the same TV.
Yeah.
Have you tried Keith? Have you checked to see if the remote works on the Switch?
Yes,
your regular remote on your TV. Yeah, it works on the Switch. Yeah, I know. It does on the PlayStation too. I was just like, oh, this is a function I never knew about. No one advertised.
It's a smart remote. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I tell you what is good with the Switch. You can, from a company called 8-Bit Do, you can buy a USB and Bluetooth adapter. And yeah, there you go. And you can use one of those pads. You can use your PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 pad and also your Xbox pads, which is pretty cool.
I like it. 8-Bit Do, a great company. I love 8-Bit Do.
Yeah.
8-Bit Do some great things. I really do. It's like this control. This is great because this is SNES meets dual stick.
Yeah,
I love that.
I've got the 8-bit version of it.
Ha!
So it's the old NES one.
That's where you get the term blistered thumbs from. When you're playing games on that, we used to play really hard. I used to come back with blistered thumbs from the NES controller. Have you played Resogun?
What was that? Sorry.
Have you played Resogun?
Resogun? No, I don't think so.
You haven't played Resogun. Resogun on PlayStation. You should give that a go.
Okay.
That's the only game. I'm trying to think of a game recently I played like R-Type and it was Resogun. And if you've got it, then give it a go because it's a good game. And then the people who've made Returnal with Karens in space recently, and they've got that bullet hell thing, but for a third-person shooter. But this was the side-scrolling one. It was weird because it was side-scrolling, but it was like around a cylinder.
Yeah.
So it's kind of Tempest-like. So yeah, try the Resogun one.
You've got me thinking it.
There we go.
Bullet hell shooter. It's not got to find it.
Is he is it categorized them all by how they play? Excuse me.
Karen's in space.
Yes, Karen's in space. Returnal. I still can't believe it's fucking 70 quid. Piss off if you want me to pay that for the game. I'll get it when it's 20.
Points if you can guess what this game is.
I can't see it very well. Pitfall.
Yes, get in there.
Got that from a few pixels. I'm a genius. Okay, let's move on to our next story.
Yeah.
Was that Steam?
Yeah, that was Steam.
Yeah. That's the Steam Home logo. Yeah.
Yes. I like this one. So, Elite Dangerous Odyssey New World won't exist outside the expansion.
No.
So, Horizon players will still touch down on the game's older, blobbier planets.
Yeah. So basically, because they've upgraded the engine with new lighting effects, planetary tech, which is nice, and the fact that you can get out your vehicles, walk across the planets. You won't be instant. There won't be an instance with those players. It's caused a bit of a upset, but to be fair, I don't know what people expect. They've put new planetary tech into it. You're paying for this extra expansion, so why would you be able to do it?
I think it's probably we use the term expansion. I think that's the thing, because they want it to add on to the game, so they look at it as an expansion to the game, and I think that's the thing. I think maybe it may be time to come up with Elite Dangerous 2, put all this tech and shit into there, put all that kind of first-person shooter bits in there, the landing stuff in there, expand it out. I think part of it's helped. No Man's Sky, I think, has helped a lot, because when No Man's Sky came out, it didn't work. I looked at Elite. First game I looked at was Elite Dangerous. And then No Man's Sky's come out and they've built all their stuff back up, and you can build bases and go on planets and stuff.
Oh, what they've done with No Man's Sky is incredible. All for free as well.
Yeah, the fact that it was started off as a complete bloody failure and now it's turned into something a bit more palatable game-wise. And I think that Elite Dangerous needs to either do the same and build the whole thing up layer on layer on layer, or give us Elite Dangerous 2, and then maybe do the same thing again with that, and then add in different missions and stuff. I think I haven't. This is the funny thing is, I've got your joystick over there, which I'm planning on sorting out this week because I've got the week off, and I'm planning on playing it. I'm worried because every time I think about playing it, it's one of those games I think I'm going to play it, and it's like a week later. Oh fuck! I didn't go to work because it's like when you get involved in a really.
It will take over. I guarantee you, it'll ruin your gaming. Ruin mine.
That's why I'm so worried about pulling the trigger on it. I really am. Every time I look at it, do I? And then the next part of me goes, you know what you should do, Gareth? You should buy yourself a gaming PC. I'm like, oh, fuck off, brain. Get some big graphics cards, but you won't be able to get them because of crypto mining. Oh, fuck off, brain, please stop it. Just keeps doing these things in my head. And so joysticks and hopefully it gets sorted this week. I'm gonna have a poke around with the screwdriver.
It's all the science that's involved with Elite Dangerous that blows my mind. It really is, because at the end of the day, it's a simulation. But there's plenty of groups out there, and you can just land on a planet with one of your friends and just muck about and make your own game up. It's a sandbox at the end of the day. You make your own fun.
Yeah.
I've had SRV races down hills. We've done canyon jumps. We've done, let's see if we can rocket jump over a flying ship. You just make your own fun. It's so good. It is so good. But it will ruin your gaming. I'll warn you now.
The way I think of it is like a bit of I call them Zen games. The games that you really go into to get out.
Yeah.
So when you play Flight Simulator, you go in there and you get out and you observe the thing, and you're a pilot and nothing else. Yeah,
but isn't that what? Well, that's escapism, isn't it? Isn't that what gaming's supposed to do for us anyway? You've had a hard day at work, come home, and you just want to forget about things.
Yeah, but it's a different. Down like a different alley, if you know what I mean, because you've got that kind of frenetic first-person shooter. Then you've got this real-time strategy where you control everything, and you're trying to move all the stuff around. And then you've got the horror games where you scare the shit out of yourself. Alien Isolation, I still love that game. I'm still waiting for Alien Isolation 2, and the book was rubbish. So don't ever, if you get a chance to read Alien Isolation book, don't. You think it'd be like a retelling of what's going on in the game. It turns into it's 50% melodrama with Ellen Ripley on Earth, and it's shit. Sorry, I just had to get out of my system because that book was awful.
That's the review.
That's the review of that book. Don't touch it. The guy admitted he never played the game. So he just read the notes for the game. Yeah, I know. It was shit, and it was all melodrama. It's like, it was all about Ripley arguing with her estranged husband or whatever at the time about who was looking after their daughter. And then there's another character in it called Zuma Hendrix, who's in another book, which is even worse. Because she's the bestest ever. And instead of making her about 50 and a career soldier, which would have worked fantastic, she's about 20 of telling 40-year-olds what to do. I hate to tell you, when it comes to the kind of military things, experience counts for a fucking lot. But that 2 book reviews aside, I'm looking forward to trying and getting Elite Dangerous sorted out. I know it runs on my computer. I can get about 60 frames a second at 1080p, or I can get 6 frames a second at 4K. So naturally, I'm going 1080p with it.
It still looks amazing at 1080p.
Oh yeah, it does. It does.
I had to knock the. I mean, it was only in alpha stage anyway, but I had to knock my res back down from 4K to 1080p because of Odyssey, because of all the new tech they've put into the game. But it just looks incredible, especially now you got atmospheric planets as well. It really does look good. I've spent hours just looking at the sky.
Well, that's good. Anyway, let's move on to our next one. Eeny, meeny, miny, Mike. Bit too quick for me to press the button to show the screen. Okay. So this is something you keep showing me and Nige.
Yeah, limited games.
Limited run games. It's like taking a gambling addict to New Vegas to Las Vegas.
Yeah,
because I see all this stuff and it looks.
I hate this site. I hate it.
It's ambivalence because I hate it and I love it all at the same time. Because look at this, and it's like Castlevania, and then I go, actually, I've got Castlevania downloaded on my bloody Xbox that I haven't finished playing. So it's like that. It's a classic collection. I'm looking at
you can touch this one though.
I know. I just like to point out I only paid £3 for the one on the Xbox because I'm cheeky and figured a way out of not paying too much for the damn games. I remember my friend lent me Castlevania and I got further than him in it. And I couldn't take and at those days you couldn't take a picture because you had to send it to the fucking developers.
Yeah.
But it was just like kind of, I got past this bit because it was like, I think it's like the second encounter, which I think it's 3 encounters with Dracula in it, if I remember correctly. That's the very first Konami one. It's a shame that Konami have gone tits up because the Castlevania games are great. I love the Castlevania games. I can remember Simon's Quest on the NES. My friend showed me a cheat that I don't think I'd have ever figured out. You have to get a book and pray at a certain thing and wait for night to fall. And when night falls, you get a little whirlwind that warps you to a certain location. Never would have known that because it didn't have the internet in those days. All magazine based. And another thing in Simon's Quest was the day-night cycle. The first time I played a game that had a day-night cycle in it. So the second or third, it's second Castlevania, if I remember correctly. Then the day-night cycle, and then everyone would turn to monsters. So if you were outside, I kind of remember that. And then what was the other one? I played the third one really briefly. And I remember having a guy who could climb up bits, but I never knew that because I didn't realize he had special powers because I didn't have an instruction booklet. It was just like, play this. Look. But yeah, Castlevania was good. I've got, the Castlevania one, the Mercury String one? Well, I've got to get around to playing. I really enjoyed that. The music was great on that one. But it was one of those ones I started playing and then something else came along and I stopped. But I like Castlevania.
Did you not play the PlayStation 1 Castlevania Symphony of the Night?
No, that's the one I haven't played.
What?
That's the one I've played.
It's probably the best one.
I've played Castlevania 64. I think I've played every one.
No. Just
Castlevania. No. That's why I said that's why I didn't mention Castlevania 64 in my Castlevania memories because it was just fucking terrible shite.
Yeah.
I didn't buy that game. I'm so glad I didn't. Did you play it?
I think I played Castlevania on a Game Boy.
That was cool though. The Game Boy version was really good. I remember that one. Yeah. It was better than the N64. It was because they was all going 3D mad, wasn't they? It was like, it's got to be 3D. And
to be honest, there weren't that many great games on the N64 that I remember,
no,
with the exception of one. And
GoldenEye.
Nige walking around.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
and Doom.
GoldenEye, Mario Kart. Mother two on that
Yeah.
ones were quite good.
Yeah.
GoldenEye, Mario Kart, Mario
And,
64, Zelda, Ocarina of Time. That's another good one on the thingy. Rogue Squadron was another good one on the N64. What other things?
Oh, I forgot Road Squadron. Yeah, that was good.
Donkey Kong 64.
Ah,
another
Donkey
good
Kong
one.
64. Yeah. I'll
I
get
didn't
that.
play that one because it didn't have the expansion pack and I couldn't afford it. And I was like, why am I buying an expansion pack? It's not a game. And it's just like, well, you need that to play. Oh, fine. Then I'll play on a PlayStation, just put the disc in and let it load up. But yeah, so you struck a chord there with that with showing me Castlevania because
but on the I'd imagine it's on there on the PlayStation 4 store or the PlayStation store. I'd be very surprised if Castlevania Symphony of the Night's not on there. And if it is on there, highly recommend you play that.
I'm gonna check because I got a £5 voucher from Microsoft.
Yeah.
So if it's on the thingy store, it's going for a £5. Then I'll buy it now. And then I'll have to give it a go. Actually, saying that I've got loads of other things I'm playing at the moment.
The main guy who used to make the Castlevania games, he started up on his own.
Yeah,
start off with Kickstarter again, called Bloodstained. So if Bloodstained is on the Xbox or PlayStation Store again, that's one to look for.
Quick look. See, the thing with my Xbox X Series, it's entirely digital. So just seeing how I can survive digitally. So Xbox.
So that's it. I mean, you can even tell by the artwork that it's Castlevania type game.
Very much so.
What's it called? Bloodstained, yeah.
That plays really well on the Switch. That does really is good.
Very much so.
I'm going to look for that now while we're talking. Okay, so let's move on to our next one, which was Wolfenstein, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, this is.
I don't know why it didn't go away. I pressed the button. Sorry about stuff. I try and put. The reason is that Nigel edits these after into bite-sized chunks to put on the YouTube.
I was just going to do a little dance.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, all this is a. I mean, this is a modding site that I use, and they're always updating stuff for different games. So it's a Doom 2 mod, and basically they've just created a sequel to the original Wolfenstein using the same engine. They've added effects and stuff like it, but I think on that site there is a bit of a trailer, so you can see what they've done to it. But considering they've used the Doom 2 engine,
yeah, hang on a second. Let me just.
I think there's a little video section on there somewhere that you can.
I can see the screenshots. We've got some nice screenshots. Have you seen the extreme versions of Doom that they've redone?
You want about Brutal Doom?
Like you got, yeah, where they've got like because of so much technology now that we got, you can have like 30 variants on like the Caco demons and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you've got like levels up. So they've gone to the bloody extreme. The guns look fantastic in it.
Mm.
That was an interesting one. I need to find. Is there a video? There must be a video. There we go. So let's do. There we go. We got a video. So what Wolfenstein? This one's built on the back of the what engine? Sorry,
the Doom 2 engine. So the original Doom 2 engine.
Oh, that's
going back. I've been working
back.
on this for about 6 years, but
I used to
I
build.
just think it's so impressive what these guys have done.
You failed to stop the Nazis. Bloody Nazis. Oh, that's quite good.
So cool.
Does look good.
Old school, but cool. Wow. Wow.
Zombies.
You got to add zombies, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got Nazis, you got everything else, you've got to have zombie Nazis.
There you
Yeah.
go. What more do you need?
Yeah, true. It is true when you come to having a zombie Nazi.
They're like the ultimate bad guys. We haven't just got zombies, we've got Nazi zombies. The ultimate bad ass non-zombies.
Just a quick update on Symphony of the Night. It's £6.79. So I've got a £5 voucher. I'll pay the £1.79.
Oh, you'll love
Bang,
it. It's done in 2D style as well. So such a good game. Such a good game.
The other one they've got is the Anniversary Collection, which is £16.99. Which it hasn't got Symphony of the Night on, which is really annoying. And it's got all the other Konami games on it.
Yeah.
Sorry. So we've got the Castlevania 1, 2, 3, Super Castlevania, Castlevania Adventures, Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge, Castlevania Bloodlines, Kid Dracula, never released in English before, and the History of Castlevania book by Crescent Moon. So I'm assuming there's a digital book there for that because it's on the digital store. That's fantastic. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap this one up now because we've got another podcast to do in 30 minutes. So, if you want movie news and TV stuff, we'll be in 30 minutes. We'll be either on the Monkey Nut Punch channel. If you're on the Gaming Facebook channel, go to the Monkey Nut Punch channel. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Hang on, no. That's not how we do it. So let's just where's the solo? I just removed it from the stream. Right, boom. I can't fuck with this. They had solo mode. There you go. Put it back on again. Before we go.
What's that?
The like,
outro.
comment, subscribe thing. Come put it on again. Before I end the stream. There we go. It's great. It's backwards though, but anyway, thanks for watching and goodbye from us.